Amnesty International has called for an investigation into the killing of 10 villagers in the Christmas Day military airstrike in Silame local government area of Sokoto State. The director of Amnesty International Nigeria, Sanusi, said launching air raids is not a legitimate law enforcement method by any standard. Such reckless use of deadly force is unlawful, outrageous, and lays bare the Nigerian military's shocking disregard for the lives of those it supposedly exists to protect. Mr. Sanusi said the reckless use of force by the Nigerian security forces in the Sokoto communities wiped out an entire family in the airstrike. The Christmas Day airstrike on the two communities of Silame local government area of Sokoto State are unlawful and excessive force on a catastrophic scale. Entire families were killed inside their homes. Some villagers were burned to death in an inferno triggered by the airstrikes. International humanitarian law demands that all feasible persecutions must be taken to minimize harm to civilians. The Nigerian authorities must urgently investigate the decision-making process and execution of the airstrikes that caused the civilian casualties in Sokoto State, Amnesty International said. Barrister, I'm sure you're aware about the airstrikes that was mistakenly launched into this Sokoto community, two local governments that was targeted for the Lakurawa terrorist camp. I'd love to get your thoughts about this. What do you have to say concerning the security system in the country?
Yes, I will begin by sending out my condolence messages to the families that lost their loved one, and also to the Sokoto state and to the Nigerian state as a nation. It's really a sad one, and we call for proper measures. I subscribe to the fact that Amnesty is calling on the Nigerian government to investigate thoroughly and possibly punish offenders in this act, because lives have lost. Sokoto State have lost, a lot of people out of sheer carelessness. I call it carelessness because I believe whomever be the military personnel who manned that airstriking facility that day, I believe he or she should be a professional. They must have been trained to manage and handle that striking facility. So using it unjustly is questionable, one, considering the terrain, considering we are in a very dire situation in the country wherein terrorism have become the order of the day in the northeast. So leaving out targets and striking community members mistakenly is questionable. It's questionable. Nigerians should demand, even though Amnesty have said it, I join my voice with the voice of Amnesty International, and also I will encourage more Nigerians to ask questions. We need to know what happened. And when this investigative report is out, they shouldn't please keep it under the carpet as usual. I mean, this has happened on several occasions. If I'm not mistaken, this is about the second airstrike that has mistakenly killed community members instead of the targets. I mean, it's questionable, If it were to be fair, we'll say, oh, this is a first mistake, but the second time is questionable. So, with my deepest respect and apology to the military command, we want a proper investigation into this. Nigerians need to know who is manning this striking facility, this air whatever, who is manning it, who is the officer that was in control that day. Was that officer trained in line with standards?
Do you believe there was actually a mistake? Because a sophisticated missile like that cannot just be targeted at the wrong spots. You know, because we
Yeah,
watch action movies where we see these things.
Yes,
when
you
they
know,
target them, you know, to a particular, you know, spot, as we can see here. So I don't get the fact that it was actually a mistake. I do not believe that.
see, this is a security concern here, and don't forget, we were not in that facility
Yes.
when it was fired.
Okay.
But I strongly believe also that the professionals in that field, the ballistic experts and all that, they know how to unravel, you know, some of these challenges. They know how to find out whether that aerial view was actually locked to shoot a target or it was a mistake. I believe they know what to do. So that's why we are asking for a proper investigation. They should investigate it properly, because this wouldn't be a time, you know, to lay out blames or accusation on the military command.
Okay.
Nobody knows what happened. But why Nigerians are skeptical about their recent shootings, it's just simply because it has happened. It's about the third time. It's about the third time, if I'm not mistaken, okay, when they leave a target and shoot innocent civilians. So this calls for proper investigation. We need to know who is involved. We need to know, there should be a proper psychiatric evaluation of the officers who manned that facility that day. We need to check, as at the time that operation was carried out, were they in the proper state of mind? Were they depressed? And all that. There should be psychological evaluation.
Okay.
We should ask them questions. I mean, if I know that we have professionals in our military, we have those who we can vouch for. So they should move in, they should investigate, they should come up with the right result. If there are culprits, the culprits should be brought to book, prosecuted, and the right sentences meted out without
Because
who is
lives
involved.
have been
Lives,
even most of their cattle were destroyed. Their houses were
lives
destroyed.
destroyed, houses, cattle. You can see it has also affected the economic concern
Yes.
of that community. So it's really a wrong one, and we call for proper investigation.